Good afternoon. Hey, y'all. So this will be a continuance of this morning from my video. This is part 2. So basically, I like to do videos when I'm by myself and nobody's around. Or I probably, if I had like my own, I guess like if I move like my desk and everything into a room, then I can close the door and do my videos, that kind of thing. But I don't have that because we have other stuff in the room. So I kind of just made me a little corner into my little safe haven. But anyway, I like to just basically do my videos when H2B's not around. He doesn't like bothering or anything, but I just feel better talking when he's kind of not around. And he does listen to my videos as well sometimes, but I just like uploading when nobody's around. I guess maybe speak a little bit more freely, if that's, if that makes sense. So, getting back to recapping from this morning. So I did have to, I decided to come out here. I was laying down watching Peacock, and I felt myself drifting. And I said, you know what, let me get up. Let me catch up on some reading. Let me come out here and catch a breeze. It's shade. It's shade on the porch. So I'll just catch up on some reading and come sit out here for a minute. I'm back to work tomorrow. I enjoyed my 2 days off. I did go take care of some business today, so I got one thing situated. So now just do the rest on my next business off day. I'll finish the rest of today. Now that I know what to do moving forward with what I'm trying to take care of. That's one of many things I'm trying to take care of. So just to recap, basically, and I had to change my clothes, so I had to get out of my cute stuff and just put on some little lounge and stuff. So anyway, this air feel good. Shade feels so nice. Now it seems like it might have went down a little bit because it was like it's hot earlier when I left out. But now it's a nice breeze. But I'm in the shade though, so I don't think I want to go to the track because it's still hot and it's still being in the beaming sun. So if it was maybe a little lower, I might have would have went to the track today and got me another workout in. I did work out yesterday as well, but I worked out indoors. Anyway, okay, so just to recap, I wanted to chime back on here and talk about what's been going on this week. Well, it's Tuesday, so this is a new week. Well, just to recap, the last video I posted was about the lady who was stabbed at the McDonald's. So they did a visual for her yesterday. I was watching it on YouTube on the news outlets and on Crime and D. So they did a visual for her yesterday at the McDonald's as well. Her mother was there, her kids, of course, and everyone like that. And her mother said, this is unfair. She should be burying me. I shouldn't be burying my child, and that's how it's supposed to be. Like us as children, we're supposed to bury our parents, our grandparents, and so on. Now it's the other way around. It's the grandmothers burying their grandkids. It's the mothers and fathers burying their kids. Like we're burying our children instead of our children burying us. And it's just the wicked times that we are living in. And that's why it's telling me we need to stay prayed up. And okay, I see you, sis. We need to stay prayed up and just be thankful for any and all things. And we need not to take no one and nothing for granted, because just in the blink of an eye, you can be gone like that. And I've really been thinking about that because it just didn't fathom. There's no time clock that says this is going to be your last day on earth. My kids are texting me, that's why I keep doing that. That this is going to be your last day on earth, and God forbid you're going to die from your injuries. And it's sad because both lives are ruined. The young lady who did this, and then the lady she killed. And even if the lady wouldn't have passed, it's the fact of the matter, 2 lives are still ruined. Because that lady was going to need probably all types of, care and physical therapy and all of that, had she survived. It's just really, really sad. But let me shift gears. So let me shift gears and let me just tell y'all what happened between me and my coworker on last week, because this is a new week, I forgot. So basically, my coworker is white, and I told y'all, the majority of my coworkers, they are white. There are some Arabs that work with us as well. It's a few black people that's there. I told y'all that before. So, but the majority of the employees there are just happen to be white. So anyway, in my department, there's not going to be people out there. So ever since I've been there, it's always that one employee that act like they everybody's supervisor. And I don't care what job you go to, even if it's seasonal, it's always that one employee that's not a supervisor. You're not an ASM, you're not an SM, which means assistant store manager. SM is the store manager. You're not a supervisor, you're not a shift lead, you're not any of those things whatsoever. But because you feel like you've been there 100 years, then you feel like you just can say and do as you please. And you may be saying and doing the right things at certain times, but it's a time and a place for everything, and you need to sit your ass down. So she had been doing little shit since I've been here, and yes, if it's helpful to me, if I'm benefiting from it, I will ask you a question, because you've been here 100 years, and so on and so forth. But my thing is this: somebody's walking down the street, so I'm gonna lower my voice a little bit. So my thing is this: she keeps inserting herself in things that has nothing to do with her, and she does that with a lot of people there at the job. I noticed that. And you hear little different things, little snippet here and there, but I pay that shit no matter. I'd rather let me observe and figure out a person for themselves. If I don't like a person, first of all, don't come to me talking shit about nobody else, because then I'm gonna look at you up, down, and from side to side, and I'm not gonna fuck with you at all. Not even really be cordial with you. I'm gonna keep it cordial, stiff high, and that's it. I'm not even gonna even ask you anything if I can help it. Put it like that. I will be mute to you, because that lets me know your MO. So she kind of has been. So since I've been there, like I said, I have nothing against this woman, but I noticed that that's what she does. She inserts herself that don't have anything to do with you. So she had been doing it, and she may not even realize she was doing it, but she kept doing it to me. And first of all, this is not my first rodeo show, okay? And you're not going to keep doing that, at least not to me. Everybody else may be like, oh, that's just how she is, but I don't give a damn if that's just how she is. She's not going to do that shit with me. So she kept, she was doing it a little here and there. She would say little stuff, inserting herself and shit that had nothing to do with her. I'll give y'all an example real quick. So it was I guess around, I want to say maybe prom time or homecoming time. The Florida department had made like some little corsages that you call them, the shit that go around the arms, the corsages. They may have made too many, I don't know. However, it's the lady that worked in Florida. Her and I started together, so she called me over there and she gave me one. She put it on my arm. It was really cute. I think I might have showed it to y'all. I'm not for sure. It might be on some of my earlier videos. But I brought the corsage home and everything, so she gave me one and another young lady one. She gave out maybe a couple of us one, but she didn't get one. The lady that I'm talking about, that inserted herself. So when I talked to this chick, the other lady at work, who had one, because I was showing her mine, she was showing me hers. She was like, oh well, she said, well, I'm gonna just say her initial. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm just gonna say K. So she was like, yeah, K said that we are getting in trouble if we put these on and wear them, because they not supposed to do that, and they can get fired for that. We're not supposed to do that. When she said that, I instantly got an attitude, because first of all, why you mad? Because you didn't get one? And when I said that to the lady, her name A, I'm calling her A, who I was talking to, who told me about what Kay said, I said, was she mad because she didn't get one? I said, you know what? I said, I like Kay, but she need to learn to mind her own damn business. That had nothing to do with her. That was one time. So then after that, it was other little instances that she inserted herself with me that had nothing to do with her. It was when I came and took over for somebody on the lane. It was some, it's stuff like we have a little basket underneath the register for goldbacks and shit like that. The little cap for the caps for the liquor, and then it's another basket for the goldbacks. Shit that customers don't want, so they take it off. So my approach to the lane, it was a set of it was an umbrella and like a 6-pack of beer or some shit that was already there. So, okay, I looked at it. I'm like, okay. I said, so when a lady come around, I just give it to her, because she comes around. It's a lady to come around and get all the little stuff and take it and put it back. Anywho, so she in her lane, I'm in my lane. Here she go, inserting herself. Oh, are those yours? Were you going to get those? Were you finna buy those? I turned around, I looked at her, I said, no. I said, this was here when I got here. I said, I don't drink this kind of beer. If I was to drink some beer, this wouldn't be my choice of a beverage anyway, because I don't drink beer anymore. So I said, this is not mine or my umbrella. I said, it was here when I got here. And yeah, because we'll get in trouble for that, and we're not allowed to stash stuff that we want. We can buy it on our break, so we're not allowed to keep stuff like that at the register. We'll get in trouble for that. They'll think you might be trying to take it or steal it. How the hell you think I'm finna get out of there with a whole 6-pack and a goddamn umbrella? What am I gonna do with a 6-pack and an umbrella? First of all, if I was still drinking beer, that wouldn't be my beer of choice. Okay. Secondly, I don't need an umbrella. I wouldn't have no use for an umbrella. So, and that sure wouldn't be mine. I do want a cute umbrella, to be honest. I want a cute little lace umbrella, like for fashion stuff. But as far as this was a rain umbrella, I don't have any use for an umbrella. So once again, you're inserting yourself that don't have nothing to do with you. So just to fast forward, because I don't want to be lengthy and all of this shit. I just want to get this shit over with. It was other little times that she had been saying little shit. So at first I wasn't saying nothing. I just was letting it roll off, letting it slide. So these last 2 times, I said that was it. This was the straw that broke, as we say, broke the camel's back. That was it. So the last time when I checked her, okay, it was once again, I'm on a lane, you on a lane. Now I'm on a lane behind you. So it was 2 ladies that came through the line. It's an elderly lady and her mother. So, I'm letting them vent. They talking their little stuff about, Kroger, blah, blah, blah. They need to do better with these digital coupons, all the stuff that we have to hear. And we don't want to hear that shit for real. But being customer service, we just have to act like we're listening and have to act like we're interested. And we have to just listen while we're ringing up the order. And me, I'm fast. So I'm really trying to hurry up and get you out of the lane, because I really don't want to hear that shit for real. But I listen, I smile, I nod. So before I can even get it out, I'm letting the ladies talk. I'm not going to interrupt them. I don't do that. That's rude. She turns her little frail olive oil ass around. Meanwhile, she was ringing people, okay? She turns her little happy olive oil ass this big around. Tell the ladies about the cheat sheet for the coupons. Tell the ladies, about the coupon sheet they can scan. Tell them what to do. Show them how to do it. So meanwhile, I'm standing there like I'm not doing my goddamn job. I was going to show the ladies all of that, an easier way to do the coupons, the digital coupons and all that shit. Because Kroger has a cheat sheet now that we can give that customers can carry with them. We just scan it in and it'll automatically take it off for them. I was going to do all of that. Let me do my goddamn job. Why are you inserting yourself into my business that don't have nothing to do with you? Them ladies was not talking to you. They was talking to me. So like I said, I was gonna let the ladies finish talking, but she turns her little happy ass, olive oil ass around and say, oh, well, ma'am, let me show you, and show them step by step what to do, like I was not gonna do it. Meanwhile, I'm actually had the paper in my hand because I was going to wait till the ladies were done talking and then show them an easier way to do it. Because a lot of elderly people, they don't know how to clip the coupons. They don't know how to do all that digital shit. They're not familiar with all that kind of stuff. They think if they scan their card, they good to go. They don't know about the digital shit. It's a different set of shit you have to do. But anyway, so let me do my job. And I was going to get around to telling you ladies about that. So when she did that, I was floored. I mean, instantly my horns came up because I was heated. I mean, heated. Because that made me feel some type of way, like I'm not doing my goddamn job. So then the lady's looking at me like, oh, you just weren't going to tell us about this? So I said, well, thank you, ladies, for coming in. I said I was going to tell you guys about it, but she, I played it off. I said I was going to tell y'all about it, but, she went ahead and inserted herself and told y'all. But I was going to actually show y'all the sheet right here and tell y'all about it as well. But I was, we were, you guys were talking, so we were having a conversation. They said, okay, no problem. Well, thank you anyway. And, you're a nice lady, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for listening. No problem. But that made me feel some type of way, like I'm not doing my goddamn job. So when she did that, I said, that's the icing on the cake. I'm finna check this bitch. So I said I was gonna wait. So what I did, I had got moved to U-Scan because we rotate. We gotta relieve you for their breaks, all that type of shit. So that was perfect timing. So she came over there finna insert herself and say something else, and I stopped her right at the truck. I said, you know what? I need to talk to you. She said, well, what's wrong? I said, you need to learn to stop inserting yourself with things that don't have anything to do with you. She did like this. Like she was just so surprised. Maybe she was because it came from me. She said, well, what did I do? Now here comes the victim role. Well, what did I do? Now here she's so dramatic. What did I do? I said, you had no business with my customers that was talking to me in my lane. I said, you had no business turning all the way around from what you were doing to insert yourself into my business and telling them ladies about the specials. I said, I was going to do that. I know how to do my job. Oh, well, why are you so hostile? I said, because it's not the first time you've done it, but it will be the last time you're going to do it to me. Oh my, this is her, y'all. I'm not exaggerating, because she swears she's holier than thou now, but she smokes cigarettes. That's another story too. Oh my, well, you're being such a, well, I would have approached you in a better, nice and more loving way. You're being very hostile, and you're being such a mean-spirited person right now. I said, look, it's not a mean spirit in my body. I said, but it's not the first time you've done it, but it will be the last time. I said, you had no business inserting yourself into something that had nothing to do with you. I said, and you do this all the time. I said, I noticed that about you. You do it all the time to a lot of people. Well, I've been here 10 years and no one has ever told me that. I said, well, I'm the first one that's telling you now. I said, I'm telling you because obviously everybody else don't want to tell you. They saying it behind your back. I said, but you do it to people. I said, I've watched you and you do that to people all the time. Well, no one has ever said that to me before. And you're being such a mean-spirited person. I said, listen, like I said what I said. And I said, honey, I don't have a mean spirit in my body. Okay, I said, okay. I said, so, you're entitled to feel how you want to feel, and so am I. I said, you had no business to do that, and you need to stop inserting yourself in situations that don't have nothing to do with you. And then so she had people at her register. She's still standing there looking at me in my face because she's so surprised I done came out of her bag on her ass. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Tricks are for fucking kids. I'm just as grown as you, boo. With your little lonely life ass having ass. Talking to you was depressing. You was off for 2 weeks. What did you do? You went and mowed your sons. What are you doing? Why are you catering to your sons? Are they special needs? Are they handicapped, God forbid? If they're healthy like us, why are you going over there washing their windows and cutting grass and painting your father's? I'm confused. This is what you do? You a handyman on your vacation? Your sons should be doing all this shit for you, coming over there helping you in the yard, doing my you need anything. They supposed to be coming to cater to you, not you catering to them. And talking to you, you don't do anything. You just get your depressing ass on, because talking to you, you're a Debbie Downer. You are a fucking Debbie Downer. And I don't need you bringing my spirit down. I already don't want to be at this job as it is, but I'm going to come in here, show up, put on my fronts, and do my job. You're not going to bring my spirit down while I'm at this job, okay? Because you are a Debbie Downer, and talking to your ass is fucking depressing, okay? That's another story. So anyway, and I be even trying to talk to her like, girl, you need to get out. You need to. I said, why don't you just, I said, why don't you go somewhere? Take yourself on a vacation. There's nothing wrong with that. Get you a room, get you a jacuzzi, relax, something like that. I'm not saying go hit a club, go hit karaoke or something, because that's not even me. I would never advise no one to do that. But treat yourself. Take yourself to lunch. Take yourself to dinner. Like I told her, I said, why don't you get your room? Sometime get you a nice jacuzzi room. Just relax. Take your room a weekend. She said, that would be nice. I wouldn't have anybody to go with. I said, girl, go with yourself. I said, we need that time. Even if she said, well, I live alone. Okay, that's okay. I wasn't always living with somebody either. So I get it. And we need that as women, or even men. We need that time just to sit still, just to reflect, just to relax. But hey, whatever floats your boat, that's fine. So that's where we at. So now we don't say anything to each other, and that's totally fine with me. I still go relieve her for her break. She can relieve me for my breaks, and that's the way we keep it. I'm not saying me and this woman won't ever say, hey, hi, and bye again. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But now she knows, don't come for me. Now she knows, so this is what everybody's saying about me. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm just the one who called you out on that shit. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me and don't come for me. And enough was enough. I haven't letting you slide, but if you keep letting person slide, they're going to begin ice skating. And you're not going to ice skate on my expense and not in my ring. Not at all. So that's what I want to chime in and let y'all know. Any thoughts, comments, or concerns, please feel free to like and subscribe to my page. Share my page and tell your friends of a friend of a friend of a friend to like and subscribe to my page. I need to get my views and my ratings up, y'all. So that's just my 2 cents. And I am signing off for the day. And I'm going to get some reading done. I'm reading this nice gangster book about organized crime. It's very interesting. So I want to get some more reading done and sit still for a minute and get ready for the rest of the week to work. So, and I have my interview in the morning with Spirit Halloween with my, as I said, the morning video with, with the district manager. So I'll meet with him in the morning as well too. So that's just my 2 cents. Have a blessed and prosperous week. Peace.